A talking chimera.
Sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones wearing a smile. The Tucker estate is quiet.
Too quiet.
Edward and Alphonse walk through the house, already uneasy. The laughter that once filled these halls is gone. They find Nina, but not as they remember her. Her voice comes out warped, hollow, struggling against a mouth that shouldn't exist. Realization doesn't hit all at once. It creeps in. First confusion, then dread, then horror. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't fate. This was a choice. Her father, proud, trembling, desperate, calls it research. And in that moment, the audience learns something brutal. Genius can be cold. Intelligence can be cruel. Ambition can consume humanity. The chimera looks more human than the man who created it. From that day forward, we understood. In alchemy, the price is always paid by someone. In Fullmetal Alchemist, Nina Tucker becomes the embodiment of emotional devastation. A father, desperate to keep his research status, fuses his own daughter with her beloved dog, creating a chimera that can barely speak, yet remembers enough to suffer. I nearly burst into tears when watching this scene. Uchiha Clan Massacre. A moonlit village, a prodigy alone, and a decision sealed in blood. The streets of the Uchiha district lie still. Lanterns glow faintly, shadows stretch across the stone. One by one, lives end before they even understand what's happening. Itachi doesn't hesitate. He moves like a ghost, precise, emotionless, unstoppable. Even when parents bow their heads in acceptance, even when children cry without understanding why, the story refuses to give comfort. There is no music to soften the blow. And then, the final confrontation. Sasuke returns home and witnesses the impossible. His brother standing among corpses, illuminated by moonlight, eyes filled with something colder than hatred. The boy's world collapses. Not only has he lost his family, he has lost the meaning of family itself. Some tragedies don't forge heroes, they forge obsessions. Some villains are born, others are created by the weight of impossible choices. And to me, Itachi is a tragic villain. Future Gohan's death. In a ruined world, hope is carried by the last person willing to fight. Future Earth is dead. Cities are rubble. Despair hangs like storm clouds. Androids 17 and 18 laugh while they destroy what remains, because there's nothing left that can stop them, except one man. Future son Gohan doesn't talk about being a hero. He doesn't boast. He simply stands, battered, scarred, and refuses to lie down. He faces them with one arm missing, rain soaking his face. There's no strategy, no secret weapon, just resolve. And as he charges forward, we already know he isn't fighting to win. He's fighting so someone else still might. Lightning flashes, explosions bloom, then silence. Trunks finds his mentor lying alone in the rain, not triumphant, not glorified, just gone. And Trunks' cries still haunt me until now. True courage isn't surviving. Sometimes it's choosing to fall so someone else can rise. The rumbling. What if the villain's plan isn't conquest, but inevitability? The sky darkens, the ground shakes, then the horizon moves. Not metaphorically, literally. The rumbling in Attack on Titan is not a battle scene, it's an apocalypse. Millions of colossal titans walk forward, crushing everything beneath them. People run, not to fight, but just to exist for a few seconds longer. The rumbling isn't fast, it's slow, relentless, terrifying in its simplicity. Homes vanish, cultures disappear, children die with their hands outstretched, and we're forced to confront something horrifying. This wasn't madness, it was calculated, deliberate, a desperate attempt to end the cycle of hatred by erasing everyone who could ever hate again. There is no heroic framing, no victory theme, just footsteps and screams. When the world finally saw outside the walls, it realized the true enemy might have been itself. Shigaraki's backstory. Monsters aren't born, they are shaped by hands that should have lifted them. Shigaraki wasn't always a symbol of destruction. He was a trembling child standing in a backyard, itching uncontrollably, crying for help that never came. His family's anger, society's indifference, heroes who never arrived. The itch becomes pain, the pain becomes rage, and when his quirk awakens, it isn't triumphant, it is pure panic. Everything he touches crumbles, not out of hatred, but fear. He reaches out one last time and destroys the only people left in his world. The power that erupts from him is terrifying, not because it kills, but because it was born from isolation, fear, and abandonment. And then someone smiles at him, not with kindness, but opportunity. Shigaraki doesn't become evil at that moment. He simply stops believing anyone will ever save him. The tragedy isn't what he became, it's that there were 1,000 moments when someone could have stopped it. Shinji kills Kaworu. Sometimes love and duty are enemies. Shinji Ikari lives in loneliness, guilt, confusion. Then Kaworu appears, gentle, kind, patient. For once, Shinji feels understood. And then, the truth. Kaworu isn't human. He is the final angel. His existence threatens all of humanity, and he accepts it with quiet dignity. He doesn't plead for life. He asks Shinji to make the impossible choice. Time stretches. Hands tremble on the controls. This isn't explosive action, it's internal collapse. Shinji kills the only person who showed him kindness. And afterward, no speeches, no consolation. Just a boy, alone, wishing none of it had ever happened. Sometimes, the greatest cruelty in life is forcing someone to destroy the thing that gave them hope. Junpei's horrible death. Hope is dangerous when it's built on lies. Junpei Yoshino's life is a daily cruelty, bullying, isolation, despair. Then Mahito offers him something he's never had. But sympathy turns out to be manipulation. Junpei falls, not because he is weak, but because he finally believes someone cared. Yuji arrives, determined to protect him, promising everything heroes are supposed to promise. But Mahito twists the truth into a nightmare, turning Junpei into a cursed creature. Yuji screams, begging, pleading, and then gone. There isn't justice. There isn't closure, just failure. And what remains isn't resolved. It's rage, grief, and guilt. The lesson is brutal. Even heroes cannot save everyone. Prushka's fate. Curiosity takes us further, but some places only open in exchange for humanity. Prushka grows up in darkness, yet smiles. She dreams of adventure, of family, of belonging, and when the expedition needs a key, they build one out of her. Not through ritual sacrifice, not through violence, through procedure. Cold, efficient, sterile. Her body becomes a cartridge. Her voice becomes an echo trapped inside a device that others depend on. The story doesn't revel in gore. It focuses on indifference. To the explorers, she is equipment. To the audience, she is still a child, and that contrast hurts more than any horror imagery. In the abyss, discovery always has a price, and sometimes that price is someone's entire existence.